Review code provided by PlayStation. Sackboy: A Big Adventure just launched on PC, and in preparation, I decided to purchase a Steam Deck about a week ago. Yeah, that seems like a pretty expensive purchase for only one game, but obviously Sackboy wasn't the only reason I got one. I've been wanting a Steam Deck for a while now, and Sackboy coming to PC was just kind of the deciding factor, the icing on the cake, as you might say. I figured, why not now? I'd be able to make a video on it, testing the game's performance. That's exactly what I did. I tested the game on all of the preset graphic options, including low, medium, high, and very high settings. Near the end, I'll also show off some custom settings that I feel worked for me the best. At the time of making this video, Sackboy: A Big Adventure is technically not verified on Steam Deck yet, as official compatibility is marked as unknown according to Valve. I'm sure in the near future though, it will get verified, but as of right now, we're in untested territory, and it's up to people like me to test it. Oh, and just so we're clear, the reason the footage looks like this, instead of this, is because I decided to record direct game footage by docking the Steam Deck. I just thought it would look a whole lot nicer this way compared to, pointing a camera at the Steam Deck screen itself the entire time. Either way, the game is running at a resolution of 800p, and it should run about the same in both docked and undocked play. But without further ado, how well does Sackboy: Big Adventure run on Valve's portable gaming PC? Let's find out. To start things off, let's go into the very first level of the game, a Big Adventure, and just do a quick comparison of all of the preset graphic settings. Firstly, here's how the game looks on very high. Now high settings. Medium. And finally the lowest, which, doesn't look the best. Alright, now I'm going to be playing through the rest of the level, while also switching through all of the preset settings gradually to see how well the game runs on each of them. And just like the graphics comparison, I'm starting off with the highest settings first. And as you can see in the top left, the game is hovering around the 45 to 40 FPS range, sometimes dipping into the mid-30s, but not often. Switching over to high settings, we can see a clear increase in performance, with the game now reaching 60 FPS, albeit with some pretty consistent dips. Now moving to medium settings, and Sackboy is running pretty smooth at a consistent 60 FPS all the way through. And lastly, here's the game running on low settings, which unsurprisingly keeps a steady 60 frames as well, and even less surprising, looks pretty bad, and I personally would not recommend playing with these settings at all. Next, I'll be showcasing the second level, Cold Feet, running on some custom settings that I optimized to my liking. And if you want to know exactly what these custom settings are, well, here you go. Pretty much everything is set to medium, with the exception of anti-aliasing, which I actually set to high. I also turned off additional lighting effects and Sackboy fuzz, and with these settings, it's been running great. I've been getting a pretty consistent 60 FPS across the board, and the game still looks very good, especially on the Steam Deck screen itself, which, if you couldn't guess, is a much smaller screen compared to my monitor. Yes, there are the occasional dips here and there, and you could definitely optimize this a bit better than I did, but so far I'm pretty satisfied with these settings for now. I also tested out multiplayer with these settings by hopping into an online game with 2 other random people, and the FPS did take a bit of a hit, as I was starting to see the frame rate sometimes go under 50 FPS, but overall, with 3 people, it honestly went better than I expected. The main problem came up when a 4th person joined our game, and wow, the frame rate took a complete nosedive here, going from 50 FPS all the way down to 30 and sometimes 10 to 15. 30 is okay, but 10 is pretty much unplayable. I have no idea what happened here, to be honest. I figured since 3 players worked fine, 4 would as well, but it just didn't. So, if you do want to play multiplayer, just keep in mind that you probably will want to turn down some settings, especially if you're playing with 4 people. In addition to that, the overall online experience wasn't amazing. There was a lot of desync, lag, and bizarre audio issues like whatever this was. But to be fair, none of this is necessarily exclusive to PC, as online also wasn't great on the PS4 and PS5 versions. It's still totally playable, but I was hoping for it to be a bit better since I last played it on PS5. The final thing I'd like to touch on with the Steam Deck performance test though is the battery life, and as you might know, the Steam Deck's battery life already isn't known for being the best in most games. It varies from game to game, of course, but with a game like Sackboy, it dies relatively fast. Again, you could optimize the settings yourself and even mess around with the Steam Deck system settings, such as brightness settings, to extend the battery life. But with the custom settings that I used, the Steam Deck's projected battery life on a full charge was about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, that's not great for a portable gaming system, but for a game like Sackboy, you could probably knock out a decent chunk of the story during that time. But that's about it. I haven't really had much time to play Sackboy on my actual PC yet, because I've been exclusively playing it on my Steam Deck for this video. But I don't think that's going to change. Sackboy runs great on Steam Deck in my experience, and it's probably my preferred way to play the game right now. If you don't have a big budget PC, or even a PlayStation console to play Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Valve's Steam Deck is a perfectly serviceable option in my opinion. Once again though, a big thanks to PlayStation for providing me with a review code for the game. This video isn't sponsored or anything, but they did hook me up with a free code, and I totally appreciate it. If you like the video though, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Are you picking up Sackboy: A Big Adventure on PC? And if so, are you going to play it on Steam Deck? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.